Here at the LA Coliseum, when USC officially announced their brand new hire, the big fish of them all, Lincoln Riley, who is now the head coach of the USC Trojans, introduced by President Carol Folt, as well as AD Mike Bohn. Had a chance to speak with head coach Lincoln Riley as well as AD Mike Bohn on what influenced the hire, how does USC return to prominence, and what other plans are in store for this program.
Coach Riley, when you look at this USC defense, what specifically do you look at as far as trying to improve the defense and make sure that it's up to your standard as far as when you coach?
One of the biggest things that we've done at Oklahoma the last several years is the emphasis on building up that defensive line. You know, when I think of the great USC teams of the past and just some of the great defenses of the past, that's where it starts. In football, I don't care. You know, the other positions obviously very important, but if you're not elite at the line of scrimmage, it's very difficult to be dominant. And we had a great transformation there at Oklahoma under Coach Grinch's guidance. We were able to really build one of the strongest defensive fronts in the country, and that's our plan to do here.
To recruit and build a national championship level roster. The opportunity for my family to live in a new place, to experience new things. I think, you know, I've got two young girls, as you mentioned, and for them to be able to experience different things in this life is very, very important for me and my wife. And so we've always kind of been people, we're not scared to take a risk. You know, we're not scared to, I don't see this as a risk, but we're not scared to take a jump. And this was the right time.
I've been here 2 years, and I've never, ever had anything but respect, admiration, and understanding of what that represents here in LA. So we felt immense pressure. I mentioned that earlier. We felt immense pressure to deliver on that, but it was more about trying to ensure we got the right fit, the right coach, the right leader with the right integrity, the right passion, the right competitive spirit, rather than trying to win the press conference. So I think in the end, when you have a coach with the confidence and poise and stature and reputation as Lincoln, it represents all those things in a beautiful, beautiful way. So it really came together very, very nicely.
Do you feel like this gives your team now relevance more so because now that you have a big-time hire who can recruit, who can get the program back on the map?
I certainly think that's a big part of it. But I also think it's a big part of ensuring that we support Coach and his family and these new coaches coming in here and support our team with a high intensity of interest that helps us. Everybody has a role, everybody. And I think that's why the Trojan family has demonstrated that unity and that competitive spirit, that fight-on mentality recently, and that's going to be important to us. And when he talks about having a full stadium, I think that's really, really important. And when I was fortunate enough to visit with Pete Carroll, and by the way, he really touched my heart talking about how excited he was about Lincoln being here. And he represents the same sense of pride and spirit that our former players and our Trojans have about Lincoln and about our bright future. But creating that energy and that sense of pride with having a full stadium, I think that's something that when I talk with Pete, he's most proud of that. And so I think it's all of our job to ensure we're doing everything we can to create that environment so that our student athletes and our recruits and the nation sees that sense of, again, a high intensity of interest that gives us an advantage.
In this day and age, I think it can happen quickly. I do. I think there's a lot of good things going on in this program right now that we can absolutely build on. I think in this day and age, with the way college football works, you can turn over rosters in so many different ways, and we'll be very deliberate and creative and intentional about that. And with, again, the combination of the staff we're going to bring in, the players we're going to bring in, the leadership that we have, the support we have, again, getting our former players so involved with this program, which is incredibly important to me. I just look at it like, how can we not do it?